for you to make a better, investment decision, and then probably even for your career to try. So there are three classes of market in my own opinion. The first is unprotected market, right? The second one is a stony market. The third one is the loamy market. So what do I mean by unprotected? You have huge consumer with good potential, right? That's the first thing. The second one is that you have a lot of consumer who are driven by vanity logic. What does that mean? That means that you have a lot of people who believe in getting something for nothing. In such market, it becomes very difficult to sell intellectual properties. In such markets, piracy it's something that you see all around. So getting return on your investment in such market, especially when it is a knowledge-driven idea or business, it's very low, because people don't believe so much that you deserve value for your idea. The other thing about such a market, which is unprotected market, is the fact that your business radius, your business development radius is wide, which means that it takes time for you to be able to close deal, because it's either people are not getting your concept, or people find it difficult to trust one another in such market. So in such markets, it takes time to close deal, to make sales. And if you operate e-commerce also in such market, it becomes difficult for people to trust the platform with their card. That's all about unprotected market, because it's kind of a loose market, and then not so much organized, and then there is high distrust in such market. The second one is the stony market. So in the stony market, it boils down to the fact that people will really change their consumer pattern. So if people have been buying things in certain way, and you introduce an innovative way to even simplify, people are so much glued to the tradition. They just want to do it the way they've always been doing it. And then in such market, the level of education of people, the consumer, is very low. The appetite of the consumer for intellectual, for intellectual property is also low. It's such a market that people don't put so much value on knowledge. So that's why such market is a stony market. And if you as an investor, or as someone, or an employee with a very strong idea, you are likely going to face a lot of resistance from the people operating within this market. The third market is the loamy market. The first thing you note in the loamy market is the fact that quite a number of people are investing in such markets, in the sense that because the return on capital is usually predictable in such market, because you have a lot of consumers who are ready to change their mind, who are not so loyal to any brand. They just want to they want to experiment with new consumers. So for you as an investor, or for you as a startup, when you put your efforts to create value in such market, the likelihood of you getting patronage or scaling that idea is high. So for in such market also, it's the business development radius is also very little, because even at the time of you presenting your idea, or when you're presenting your value to market, your goods, your service to market, people can easily comprehend what value they will benefit from that market. And these are the three types of markets. So what is the essence of this? The essence of this is that if you, in either of these markets, your capital is the same. So $1 in the unprotected market is the same $1 in the stony market, is the same $1 in the loamy market. And when you throw in your capital or your seed into such market, it's going to produce different results. It's in the even likelihood is that you are going to lose your capital in a loose, in unprotected market, and then the likelihood that you will have a good return on investment is very high in the loamy market, including in your career. If you're working in an unprotected market, the likelihood that your value, in that workplace will be respected or will be rewarded is very low compared to when you work in the loamy market. So when next you are making your decision, remember that you are either operating in an unprotected market, or you are in a stony market, or you are in a loamy market. I hope this helps. Thank you. Take care.